Yo, welcome back to the channel. First things first, I owe you all an apology for being MIA for a while. Life's been a bit of a juggle lately. Between managing my full-time job and trying to stay consistent with content, it's honestly been overwhelming at times. Trying to give my best in both areas hasn't been easy. But I've been working hard behind the scenes, and now that I've finally gotten a bit of breathing room, I'm excited to be back with something I feel really passionate about. So thank you for sticking with me or for tuning in if you're new here. Before we dive into this topic, you know the drill. If you find any value in this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below what driving topic you would like me to cover next time. Every bit of support really helps this channel to grow. What is anticipation in driving? Let's start with the basics. What do I mean when I say anticipation? Anticipation is your ability to mentally stay one or two steps ahead of what's happening on the road. It's like having a sixth sense. You're constantly reading the environment, spotting patterns, and prepare yourself before something even happens. It's different from reaction. Reaction is what you do when something already occurs. Anticipation is avoiding the situation altogether because you saw it coming. And here's the thing, anticipation is a skill. It's not something you either have or don't. You can build it, train it, sharpen it, just like you would with parking or checking your blind spot. It's subtle, but it's powerful. It can reduce your stress behind the wheel, save you fuel, and most importantly, prevent accidents. Why it's more important than speed or skill? Let's be honest, when we think of good drivers, we usually think of people who can reverse park perfectly, handle a roundabout without blinking, or get from point A to B fast. But in reality, some of the best drivers are the ones you don't even notice. They're smooth, they don't slam their brakes, they don't swerve, and they rarely get into sticky situations. Why? Because they anticipate. They saw the hazard 10 seconds ago while you're just noticing it now. Think of driving like chess. A beginner thinks about the next move. An experienced player thinks 5 moves ahead. It's the same behind the wheel. Reading pedestrians and cyclists. This one is so underrated, it's scary. Pedestrians, especially kids, the elderly, or distracted people on their phones, they are unpredictable. If you're driving past a bus stop and someone's standing near the curb, don't assume they're just waiting. They could step out without warning. A cyclist riding close to parked cars might suddenly swerve to avoid a door swinging open. A driver who anticipates this behavior will already be slowing down, covering the brake, and scanning their surroundings. You don't wait until it happens, you plan for the possibility that it might. This kind of awareness saves lives. It's quiet, it's invisible, but it makes all the difference. Reading brake lights from far ahead. You're in traffic. Most drivers fixate on the car right in front of them, but the trick is to look through that car at the second or even the third car ahead. If you see brake lights way up the line starting to glow, that's your cue. Ease off the throttle and start building that buffer early. What does this do? It prevents you from slamming your brakes last minute. It makes you driving smoother. You save fuel and your passengers feel way more comfortable. This is how professionals drive. You're not reacting like a domino, you're observing the entire pattern. Spotting merging or lane changing vehicles. Let me ask you, how many times has a car suddenly swerved into your lane without warning? Now, how many times could you feel it coming, even before it happened? That's anticipation. You can tell when someone's about to merge. Maybe they are creeping too close to the line. Maybe they've run out of space ahead and are boxed in. Maybe they looked over even if they didn't signal. Once you start picking up on these cues, you don't need to honk or slam brakes. You just give them space. Adjust your speed slightly and let the situation pass without stress. Spotting road signs and hazards early. This one seems obvious, but most drivers miss it. reading the road ahead of time. You see a school zone sign. That's not just a speed limit, that's a message saying kids might dart across the roads. You see puddles forming or uneven pavement, that's a sign to reduce speed, gently brake, and be ready for sudden steering input. Anticipating the meaning behind the signs and road textures makes you a more thoughtful driver and reduces wear on your car too. Predicting traffic light changes. You're approaching a junction, lights green, but you see the pedestrian countdown is at 3, 2, 1. Anticipation tells you that the light's about to go amber, and instead of accelerating to beat it, you gently ease off and coast to a stop. These habits help you to avoid harsh braking, prevent tailgating, improve fuel consumption, and lowers your accident risk at intersections where it is most likely a collision might happen. Handling bad weather and poor visibility. When visibility drops, anticipation becomes critical. You can't just rely on eyesight. You need to sense the rhythm of traffic, when other drivers are slowing, where the taillights are, or where puddles are likely to be formed. Anticipate longer braking distances, increase following gaps, expect delays. If you see brake lights blinking in the fog ahead, don't wait until you're 5 meters away to slow down. Start now, drive like the road is 2 seconds ahead of your vision. Learning from close calls. Have you had a moment that made your heart skip a beat? Maybe you just didn't see a motorcycle until the last second, or you nearly missed a pedestrian crossing at night. Instead of brushing it off, use that as a learning tool. Ask yourself, what sign did I miss? Could I have seen it earlier? Or what could I do differently next time? Anticipation grows when you learn from your own experience. Making it a habit. Here's the good news. You don't need to do anything dramatic to improve anticipation. Every time you drive, turn it into a mental game. Ask yourself, what's likely to happen next? Where's my next risk? What can I do before I have to react? The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. One day you'll look back and realize you've started driving with more calm, more control, and less stress, all because you learn to think ahead. So there you have it. Anticipation isn't flashy. You won't impress anyone at car meets with it, but it's the core of great driving. It keeps you ahead of the road, ahead of danger, ahead of unnecessary drama. If this helped you, hit the like button and please do subscribe. I've got more driving content and real-world advice coming soon. Drop a comment below if you had a close call that made you realize how important anticipation is. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.